Hello, it's a pleasure to be with you for my now TBC live broadcast. My name is Stephen Tyrone Cuffey. This is my 454th broadcast. That's 4540, not zero, 454 broadcast. And it's a pleasure to be with you. I'd like to first welcome my lovely wife, my love of my life, Merlene, for being there and always supporting me. And I know you, if you're not there, I haven't looked at it, but if you're there, which I know you are, but I don't know if you're in the chat yet, but maybe you will be. But all I can say is that thank you so much, dear. And it was also great talking to you earlier this morning, and I know we'll see each other later. But regarding our lovely two little ones, which is Kayla and Caitlin, and all the ones that's sitting there with them, watch me. Thank you so much for supporting me as well, because I love you all as well. Okay, dear. Okay, dear. Marlene, I want you to make sure that, listen very closely to this broadcast, because I'll be talking about some things that I know you can relate to early in your life, and now what we're actually taking part of right now. And all of you out there can relate to my subject, what I'm gonna talk about today, because it's going to deal with lack and abundance. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. But first, let's go see what's in our chat area. Thank you so much, Christina Tangway, for being here, and Brother Shohag, and also people that's coming in. I see you, sweetheart. I see you there. You're actually in the chat room. You sure are. I see you. Okay, now let's hold on just a moment here. See like a okay, here we go. All right. So we're gonna do a screen share first. And by the way, I think I said it yesterday. The way we do the way we do these broadcasts, YouTube Hangout is going away as of August 1st. It's saying you're gonna have another way. It says YouTube.com/webcam is another way they're gonna do it apparently. Okay. That's what a notice was that I seen when I go online. I see that. Okay. Now let's look at the blog. We don't have too much on the blog at all today, folks. We actually only got one actual blog post video. It says critical training must see, and this was done by none other than my brother Mbe Derek. I got a message from him today, and I will be getting some private training and some other people broadcasters. Y'all know what about. I won't go into depth too much on this because we can't disclose too much about this private training, okay? But you need to get that training from people that can help you, okay? All right? This was critical training that he was giving his people, in his country of Africa and also in his actual country of Cameroon, okay? Great job, great job, great job, okay? All right. Okay, so now let's get right to it. Okay, folks, what I'm going to show you now is talking about lack and abundance as it concerns or pertain to, should I say, as it pertains to us in TBC. And let me come out of this. Let me come out of so y'all can see me talking to you, okay? And then I'm gonna come back, go to actually where I'm gonna show you all something. All right. A lot of us know what lack is, or lack of, or abundance of, Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do first is we're gonna do the definition of lack, and then we're gonna do the definition of abundance. Okay? And then we're gonna go on from there, okay? I'm gonna talk to you about some things. All right, so let's go do a screen share for us again. And you're going to see the blog first, but that's not what I'm going to show you, okay? Okay, first, I already got it up. Okay? All right. Let's look at lack. And it's a noun. Okay? The definition of a lack. The fact or state of being wanted or deficient. Like the lack of evidence. When it says wanted, that means like, like in a court of law or something like that, the lack of evidence. Or it could be something that is lacking or is needed. That's the one I'm referring to, okay? There's something that is lacking or is needed, okay? Now, folks, we are always lacking something through our life, or maybe sometime day to day. Sometimes for some of us could be per hour, per minute, whatever. We could be lacking. We could be deficient in our body chemistry or how we feel. We could be lacking in how we think or how we should think. We could be lacking in terms of proper needs in your home or transportation, a lack of transportation. It could be a lack of medicine. It could be a lack of, it could be a lack of so many things, right? And all over the world, we have what we call poverty. And don't you know that those people are lacking so many needs? Just everyday needs, right? So, folks, I want to show you something. Let's go to let's go to the blog just a minute. Something I want to show y'all something. And it was actually, let's go back to the blog. I want to show you something. Let's go to the very first blog post of TBC in 2016, April 2nd, 2016. Okay? Now I'm not talking about this whole article because I know a lot of you have seen it. If you haven't, you need to. Okay? It is something in this article that I want to highlight. And it says here, and I highlighted it. It says here, for the first time, the richest 1% of the population will enjoy the greater share, that greater share of global wealth than the other 99%. And think about that. I want y'all to really home in on that. For the first time, the richest 1%, and think about that. That's 1% of all mankind on earth. Just 1%. That is a very small percentage, isn't it? But that's 1% of the population enjoying the greater than abundance, right? Than abundant wealth than the 99%. So what is the 99% is receiving? Lack. Lack. You see my point? So lack and abundance is right in that sentence. That's what I'm trying to say to you all. Right in that sentence. When it talks about the richest 1% of the population enjoying the greater half, that is the abundant side. But that 99% is not enjoying that. So what are they receiving? Lack. They're deficient of what the 1% is receiving. Now, the question is to you all, should that be a factual thing in our humanity? Well, I'm going to give you my answer. No, it should not ever be that way. Unfortunately, that's the way it has been and has been so uneven for so many years. So we have this thing called the billion coin, right? Where we're trying to show people how to gain abundance. in their lives. Admin is making so many millionaires and billionaires, and I'm not focusing on that so much, just making a point, for the purpose of gaining abundance so we can make other people become abundant. Okay, so let's go back to the definition, and let's go to abundance. Hold on a minute. Okay, let's look at abundance, which is also a noun. And let's read number 1, an ample quantity, an abundant amount, profusion. As in, for an example, a city that has an abundance of fine restaurants. Number 2, affluence, wealth, a life of abundance. Well, that number 2 is what I was referring to in the very first blog post. Why should that 1% be affluent or have affluence and wealth of all mankind on earth, more than 99% of it? Why should that be the case, folks? It shouldn't be, right? It shouldn't be. So what I'm trying to explain to you here is that in TBC, we are building abundance. We love this word called abundance. Our TBC admin want humanity to reap abundance. Those people are those thousands and millions of people on earth that are not of that 99%, of that 9% that are in poverty. Those are the people that we as TBCNs are trying to reach, and we will reach them. That's why admin is we're building our forces up. Our forces is our membership. Our membership. Because when we have an abundance of numbers, it can be very powerful. Number 3 states a relative degree of plentifulness. Okay? All right? I just went over these 2 definitions for you and gave you little examples here. But the thing is I thought about something that we should talk about today. We need to talk about exactly what we are about in TBC. We are TBCNs that are gaining abundance for humanity, for all of us. Even those, yes, that's right, even those that are in poverty, because that is our mission, right? To end global poverty, correct? Our goal is to get to 1 billion members, but our mission is to end global poverty. See, we got to know the goal and the mission. Some people say the goal is to end global poverty. No, that's the mission. The goal is to build to 1 billion members so we can have a big effect on humanity. Because the way I see it and the way many people see it, has our government and the powers that be, such as the central banking systems all over the earth, they get this gaining. They're of that 1%, you see, and they're not interested in helping people poor. If that was the case, don't you believe that would have been done so many years ago, decades ago, right? So if anything, they're showing everybody, it's so evident to me that they don't care about us. I was telling I was telling someone yesterday about this. They don't care about governments. If people just open their eyes, I'm not here to bash the governments, no one, but I'm just being truthful. If the powers that be were so bent about helping people in poverty or having the lack of, we would have more equal in terms of wealth here on earth. So let me come out of this screen share just a minute to talk to you all a minute. Now let's think about this a minute. If 1% of the richest population on earth enjoying the greater half, okay, of the wealth on earth, and only 99%, more than 90% is enjoying what part? The lack of the earth. That's exactly what that sentence says, folks, in the very first blog post. That is what admin put there for you all to think. And I think when people go through blog posts, sometimes they just go by and read it. That's why I always say, you best become a student of blog like myself. And I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I'm just expressing upon you. You can do the same thing I'm doing to learn this thing. See, I see exactly what these blog posts are for and what admin is saying to us. It's almost like a thing flashing at me. So I'm just saying to all of us here, there's too much uneven balance. It's too much uneven balance of the riches on our earth. There's too much unbalance of the abundance here on earth. 99% has the lack of, and only 1% has all the abundance here on earth. Now, folks, y'all know a lot of times I refer to as my wonderful loved one here, Merlene, here in our chat area. You know, and I hope she don't mind me talking about this because I know she doesn't mind. But when she grew up in the Philippines for a short period of her life. She's been in the United States most of her life, but believe me, she knows her native country. And she didn't have everything that she and I have now. She didn't have those things. She didn't even have a car. She had to ride the bus. Now, I'm not going to give you too much more information, but I'm going to tell you something. She had to work, her parents had to work hard. Hard. In the fields, in gardens, and doing different things, labor work. That's why she has that great, what's the word I'm trying to use? That abundant part of her that's such a hard worker, and she instills those same values in the other nurses at her and doctors at the hospital where she works. See, that's come from a strong background. And when you are really taught those things as a child coming up, and you yet don't have the abundance that we talked about, quite natural she has abundance now. Y'all look up, y'all look on our Facebook page, and you see her standing beside her Hummer. Let me make a mistake. Let me say this. It's not mine, folks. That's hers. But she worked darn hard. Excuse the expression, damn hard. For everything that she's got in her life. So, folks, when I used her as an example today in this broadcast, what I'm saying to you is this. If y'all knew like I knew how hard she worked to get what she is today, and she instilled those same thing in her grandchildren. The same thing in that hospital she instills. If she can do that, and you cannot build this thing to 1 billion members, it's a crying shame. If you're not being a participant in growing our community, if you have not, as admin said in the broadcast, had not recruited not one person, then that's a crying shame. That's a crying shame. You got to ask yourself, do you really want to help humanity? Do you really want to end global poverty? You got to really look in the mirror, folks, and look at yourself. You got to look into yourself, because what essentially is happening is it's just not happening like it should in TBC. We have big numbers. Folks, the best thing could have happened in our Bitcoin contest and how we grow in our community. That's great. But 3.3, almost 3.4, 3.4 million people, you know, back when way before we had the Bitcoin contest and we paid that $10, that 4 grains of gold per year, I found out that, and it's okay, and I think it was in, I'm sure it was in the blog, only about 30 to 40,000 TBCNs had paid that $10 fee. That's one reason why admin came up had created this thing called cash centers in our Pure Cash back office, because people didn't know what Bitcoin was or cryptocurrency, didn't know how to get it. But that's no excuse now. Some people still haven't paid the $10 fee, the old $10 fee, but call themselves a TBCN. Because what they are, they got their arms like this, waiting for something to happen. Admin didn't bill TBC for this to happen. Because when you do this, guess what you're saying to your mind? I'm not ready for abundance. I can't get abundance. Essentially what you're saying, you are the lack of. You see my point? That's an example of a lack of. But out doing like Mr. Ace is doing, and Mr. Mbe is doing, and Mr. Victor is doing, and several other TBCNs are doing, folks, they know they're building abundance. Some making hundreds and thousands of dollars. I'm talking in US dollars now, but in Bitcoin. In that country, Philippines is called pesos, of course. Naira in Nigeria. I don't know everyone's currency in every country. I haven't studied that. Okay. I think about a country called Venezuela, who their currency means zero now. You can see pictures on the internet where all their fiat is all over. It was all just spread all over. I mean, thousands of paper money was just spilled all over the streets, sending the message that it is worth zero now. So they turned to Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. And I read something unfortunate. Their cryptocurrency, they're charging more for their Bitcoin to get Bitcoin than most places, because they turn into it so strong. You go to local Bitcoins. I saw a news article about that on a cryptocurrency website that I studied, on how they're actually charging more for Bitcoin than it actually be charged for, because that's all the currency they have. So all I can say to you is this, folks. Think about your life. Also, think about your life in the TBC in terms of, do you want the lack of? You want to continue to live a life of lack? Or do you want to live a life of abundance? Now, I can tell you, Merlene and I, we want to live a life of abundance. I don't even think of a scarcity mindset. I don't even create that in my mind, folks. I create a mind of abundance. Even if I haven't achieved the abundant mark that I want to get to yet, I still have got the mindset of an abundance, abundance person. We need more TBCians with that type of mindset of an abundance. That's what I'm saying here today. So when I showed you the definition of lack first and then the definition of abundance first, what I was trying to get you to see the difference, of course, we know the difference, but I want to educate people what the difference is and how we have to change the way we think here in TBC, because a lot of us are not really creating abundance for you and your family as well as here in the TBC. And a lot of us all need to be on the same what did admin put on Monday yesterday on yesterday? Abundance. I mean alignment. We all got to stay aligned. We cannot too much of us are not aligned. You cannot gain abundance when you're not aligned, folks. You gain abundance when you're aligned. You see? All right? All right, folks. That was my message today. I hope you get what I was saying today. Decide what you really want in your life. And be honest with yourself. Some of you got to look into a mirror while you're saying this to yourself. Do you really want a life of abundance for you and your family? Or are you still living that life of abundance for you and your family? As pertain to here in the Billion Coin. Or pertain to your life anyway, for that matter. See, it all starts here. Your mindset. That's where it starts, folks. Practically everything starts from here. The way you think, the way you interpret. That's what you got to be thinking about. It starts here. That's why God gave us a brain. Use it. My God, use it. But use it the right way. I got a message from MB today. He said, I'm all in TBC. I'm all about TBC. Because I believe we can make this thing happen. He believes in what he's doing. See, if everyone had that belief, that willing, that abundant mindset. See, he has an abundance mindset. Ace that young fella has a great abundance mindset. But it's all about the vision that you have within yourself. That's a whole nother thing too. What is that vision that you have? You see, some people got that vision of TBC in a different way, and that's why they're not succeeding. That's why they're unsuccessful. That's why they're creating complaints and negativism in TBC. They don't care about how well somebody else is doing. You get off your high horse and do the same thing. You see? Congratulate those that are doing even better than you. Don't envy them and be negative. Be proud of them. Be a part of the process. Okay? Because when you like that, you're only creating more lack for yourself and your family. That's all that's happening. That's surely not the mindset of an abundance person, because an abundance person is positive, congratulating people that's succeeding. You see? You know? Thank you so much, all that's here. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Merlene. Thank you for all you've done. You're talking different people in here in the chat. Thank you so much. You know, Mr. Shohag and everybody saying this is a wonderful broadcast. Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you, everyone here. Because when I thought about what to talk about here today, I said, wow, I could use that very first blog post, and just one sentence in that blog post says it all. Think about that. One sentence says it all about what this world we're dealing with in terms of our wealth. It needs to be 50-50. Or why not try all of us abundant? Because after all, folks, and this is my last word of the day, and I've said this before, isn't that what in our Holy Bible says, that you should live life abundantly? It's even written in the Holy Bible. God don't want us to live lack and live like we don't have anything. He wants us to enjoy the riches here on earth. We got the powers that be that's controlling this. And we have a private society called the Billion Coin that we building our own community, our own abundance, no matter what anyone else does. Isn't that a wonderful thing, folks? So with that said, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Merlene, for being here, dear. Thank you all in our chat room. Y'all are so wonderful, my usual people that's here. Thank you for all. Don't look like we got any new people here today. Oh, well, maybe, let me see. Maybe we do. Mr. Simone Mondol, MD Simone from Bangladesh. Got a new person from Bangladesh today. Thank you so much. If you've been here before, I apologize for that. I may not have seen you in the chat, but if you've been here before, fantastic. Thank you all. Thank you all, Mr. Patrick from the Philippines. Thank you so much. You know, people that come watching from the Philippines, I'm gonna tell you something. It is now 3:34 a.m. in the morning, and they get up just to come and watch me on a broadcast. That tells me that person's devoted and want to learn something. So thank you, anybody that's coming out early morning, like some of the people in the Bangladesh community as well that come and watch me. Thank you so much for being so committed to listening to me and try to learn something that can help you in your life and here and also in TBC. The ones that don't want to support me, they're just missing out on things, and they just want to lack. They just want to live a lack in their lifetime. They just want to continue to do the same thing they're doing, expecting a different result. You're doing the same thing over again, but expecting a different result. Isn't that also a definition of insanity? Okay, folks, I'm done. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, my Kim and Kayla, for being here, as well as all the ones here that where they are in California that's watching me. Thank you so much. Love you all. Y'all have a great day. Oh, one last thing, folks. I will not be doing a broadcast on July 4th. That happens to be Independence Day for our nation here in the United States. That is a holiday. My sister asked me, she wants me to go to movies with her to see this movie. And I said, we haven't been to movies and I don't know when, so I think it'd be a great thing to do. So I said, let me just take that day off. Don't y'all think I deserve a day off? You know? But what if I took a whole week off? I took 3 days off, was it last week? Because I discovered that my webcam on my other computer wasn't working. But that wasn't my fault. That's technology. I was ready to do my broadcast, but just couldn't, no matter what I tried. But I finally figured out the problem. So I will not be doing a broadcast on July the 4th, which is 2 days from now. I'll be back on the next day after July 5th. Okay? So make note of that. I haven't even scheduled it. I'm letting you know that now, and I will let you know that I will remind you tomorrow. So if anyone trying to look for me on my YouTube channel and see a schedule for a broadcast on July 4th, you won't see it because I haven't scheduled it. Okay, it will not be scheduled. Don't look for me here on July 4th. I'll be back tomorrow, July 3rd. Then I'll come back July 5th. Okay. All right, folks. Y'all have a great one. Oh, one last thing. I'm sorry. We got a big birthday coming up on coming this Monday. Guess whose birthday it is? Nope, it's not mine. Mine is already passed. It's that lovely lady in the chat room, Merlene. Her birthday comes on Monday. I know I said it early, but I just want y'all to know she means the world to me. And so that's going to be a special day for her and for me too as well. Y'all have a great one, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace, everybody.